Well, good evening, everybody. Happy Monday.
Woo.
And here we are, three of us, because the fourth one apparently was getting beauty rest and will be with us shortly. And all y'all in the comments, y'all let him have it. Let him have it.
We were
How are you
actually
doing?
early tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were early.
Very early.
Yeah, y'all are great. How are y'all?
I'm great.
It's a Monday.
Back in the school, in the saddle after Oxmageddon. So
Yes. And yeah, Garrett's still catching up from about a week out. So, hey, all of y'all out there, thank you so much for joining us on Southern Gospel Forward, episode 12. I can't believe we've already gone through 12 of these. Mind blown. Thank y'all so much for joining us. And right now, as you're watching this, if you'll click your share button, if you're watching on Facebook, if you'll share it, that would be awesome. Feel free to comment to us. We'll try to get some comments on shortly. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We are about halfway to the number that we need on YouTube subscribers. It doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe, and click that little notification button. You'll see us when we come up and never miss an episode. How about I run through our sponsors for the night? Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it. We have got Ex Nihilo Media again sponsoring us tonight. We thank so much Candace and Lynn Mills, Ex Nihilo Media, and we thank them. They are awesome, awesome supporters of Southern Gospel Music, awesome media. If you're looking for photography, graphic design, social media design, they are your one-stop shop. If you will shop them and just tell them you're thankful for them supporting Southern Gospel Forward. And then we have, again, the Morrison Sisters. We appreciate their sponsorship. We love that group and just think the world of them. And we appreciate them. Looking forward to having them on our show at some point down the road. But thank you, Morrison Sisters. You see their website at morrisonsisters.com. If you want to go check them out, check out their tour, go see them live. You will be blessed. And once again, the Lawsons are sponsoring us. The Lawsons Family Music, lawsonsmusic.com is the website, thelawsonsmusic.com. You'll find their booking information, and they have been a faithful supporter since we've started offering sponsorship, and we thank them. If you will, please go check them out and support them as well. Here's a new sponsor, and this is a friend of mine from our SGMA board, Benjamin McSween, and he is from my home state of Alabama as well, and he's got his information up there now, booking for 2024. Got his website at mcswaingroup@gmail.com. I'm sorry, not website, email, and phone number up. If you'd be interested in having him in an event, he would love to come and bless you. And then finally, one more, and I added this one. I'm the one who paid the sponsorship on this, and because, of course, Southern Gospel Music, the Southern Gospel Music Association is a nonprofit, and I just want to make sure y'all know that I am the one who personally did this, but I want to give a shout out to them and encourage y'all to go to sgma.org. For $20 a year, you can become a member of the Southern Gospel Music Association and keep up with all things Southern Gospel, help procure the museum there in Pigeon Forge. And also you get to vote annually on who you want to see nominated into the Southern Gospel Music Hall of Fame. So sgma.org. And that takes care of our paid sponsors.
Hey!
We did. Yeah, we
Good
did.
morning.
And he's up. Good to see you. Just get here when you can. We do have some individual sponsors as well for tonight's episode. Colton Grider, Daniel Hayes, and Richie Works. And again, that's Colton Grider, Daniel Hayes, and Richie Works. We thank you so much for being individual sponsors. And y'all, the sponsorships help us out. We are gradually, slowly but surely building that budget to get all these fine young folks to the NQC this year. And your sponsorship means the world to us. So thank you so much for that. How are you there, Riley? Young Riley, are you refreshed now?
Well, I'm kind of panicking a little bit because when I woke up and it was like 8 o'clock and I had all these notifications, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, there's a show that we were doing tonight.
It's because it wasn't on a Tuesday.
I called you twice, so
I was on Do Not Disturb. I thought I was going to wake up and be ready to go, and here I am.
All right. That's all right, buddy.
Well, sleep deprived from the cruise, I guess you could say. So
you are. Well, let's get this show rolling. We have got an awesome guest. I tell you what, I talked too much in the beginning. One of you guys want to bring our guest on tonight?
Yeah, right.
So I hung out with this guy a lot last week. He is the newest singer with the Kingsmen. Will we please make welcome Brady Jones?
Hello.
Wow. Even sound effects. That's amazing.
That's the first time we've had sound effects, man.
Brady, you're something special, man. I want to let you know you're the first sound effect.
Well, thank you. I
thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Brady. And we just got acclimated. This is the first time we've chatted a little bit messenger wise, but this is the first time. And is this really even qualifying as face to face? But anyway, it's good to put voice and face with name. And I've enjoyed watching young Brady on YouTube and some of the different things that's been posted on social media. He is tearing it up as the new bass singer with the Kingsmen Quartet, and what a legacy that he steps into with the Kingsmen Quartet. And we just thank you. I know you've had a busy week. You've been on a cruise. You were in Waimama last night, right?
That's right. So we were at the winter gospel music convention. I
know you are tired. Thank you so much for spending your Monday evening with us.
Thank you all for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, buddy. Well, we do this, and truly, as you're kind of starting out your young career in professional Southern gospel music, you may truly be a new face and a new name to several of our watchers. So what we like to do is just ask you to take just a second and just act like nobody has ever seen you before, and give you just a little intro of yourself. Tell whatever you want to tell, family, your background. Just give us a little info about yourself, Brady.
Well, my name is Brady Jones. I'm 19 years old and got an older brother and a younger sister. Great mom and dad that brought me up. Dad kind of taught me how to sing and gave me a love for singing and stuff like that. Grandparents did the same. And I now sing bass for the Kingsmen Quartet. And like you said, I'm just grateful to be a part of such a rich legacy that it's just an honor and a privilege.
Absolutely. I can only imagine. I can still remember 19, right? You're
That's
19.
Right.
I can vaguely remember 19, but I can only imagine stepping on the Kingsmen Quartet bus at 19 years old. That's got to be surreal.
Yeah, surreal, terrifying, enjoyable all at the same time.
Well, buddy, just live it up and enjoy every second of the way. And like I said, you're doing a fantastic job. I know the fans across the country are already falling in love with you, and you just keep on keeping on. You're doing a magnificent job.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn it over to my young. Maybe everybody is awake and raring to go. And I think Evan said he was a little sleep deprived, but we're going to make it through this thing. I'm going to turn it to you guys, and y'all start firing away all those tough questions for Brother Brady.
I'll jump in first. So Brady, you tell us a little bit about yourself. So can you tell us how you got to where you are today? Just a little background there.
I've had quite a few people ask me the last couple of nights specifically, how to start singing bass. And I didn't really get much of a choice. I just kind of woke up one day and really, I can tell you what it was. I started to learn the piano. And once I did, Dad kind of said, hey, learn a song that we'd sing in church. And so I picked out Just a Little Talk with Jesus and listened to the Cathedrals do that. And I just immediately fell in love with the voice of George Yance. And my granddad sung bass, and I thought that my granddad sounded a lot like him. So I just wanted to sing like that. And so I did. I just started singing as much cathedral stuff, and I stood beside my granddad and listened to him sing and tried to do everything I could to be just like him. And that kind of got me on the path to singing. And about 2 years ago, almost 3, I had the opportunity to sing a few songs with the Mark Trammell Quartet. In between, Randy Bird had just come off the road, and right before they hired Will Lane. And I sung in front of a gentleman, Wesley Curtis. He's a pastor around the Princeton area. And he he was there to hear me sing. And a couple months later, the Kingsmen quartet were at a church there in the same area, and he went in the back room with them and told them that I sung a little bass, and Ray pulled me up on stage, and that kind of started my journey 2 years ago. Put me in front of them, and we've been good, close friends ever since. And the rest is history, I guess they say.
Fantastic.
Now, you said that the rest is history, but I think you forgot an important piece in there. Where exactly, what church exactly did you kind of get the handshake, if you know what I'm saying?
Well, I got the call. I couldn't even tell you when I got the call because I didn't really know what the call was. I guess it was more of a text message, really, that said, by the way, if you could come see us. This was from Alan, the baritone singer of the Kingsmen Quartet, who's thankfully not in the comments yet. And he messaged me and said, "Hey, if you could come see us in the next few weeks, we'd like to talk to you." And the next day, I drove to the middle of nowhere, Alabama.
That's where we're from.
Yeah. And just to see them in concert, which I've been known to do from time to time. But
I didn't even know you were there until we got up, and I said, "Is that Brady?"
I didn't know you were there. I'm like usually over our singings at the church, and like I stood up, even looked in the back, and I was like, well, whatever. And then like whenever we were up on stage, I was like, "That's Brady." Like I just didn't recognize you from way back. I probably need glasses as well, but I was like.
I walked in about 30 seconds after the concert started because I took about 4 wrong turns, and
it's easy to get lost in the backwoods of Alabama. I'll tell you that, man.
Yeah, as one does. It took me to this is a true story. I put in the GPS to the church, and it took me to a railroad crossing about 6 miles away. And
oh, okay, I know exactly. Yeah,
yeah, it was great. But yeah, I walked in and listened to the Kingsmen sing, and just a fan.
Just like, wow, Brady's a really dedicated fan to the Kingsmen, man. I mean, I'm glad he's here, but like, wow, that's a long ways from home.
That's right. And then the last song, they pulled a bunch of singers up there, and they pulled me up there to sing a little bass, and of course Evan was over there on the piano, and so then after they kind of talked to me and let me know that Drew had decided to come off the road, and I wanted to know if I'd be interested in possibly taking the position. I think I grinned the whole 5 hours back home, but that gives you a hint as to what I said.
That's great. That is awesome. Riley, what you got, bud?
So, this is a comment from the group. When did you start playing the piano, and what else can you play outside the piano? And then I will also throw in there, what other parts can you sing?
I started playing the piano right around the age of 14, I think, roughly. That's I kind of lose track of time. COVID was a fun period of time, but I think I was right around 14. I started just to play little bits on the piano, and about the same time I started singing, and I tried to learn how to sing all the parts. So now today I'm a bass singer, but I tend to try to stay invested in singing all sorts of parts. That's the way I'm going to answer that question.
I think the comments are calling you out there, Brady.
Yes, I could see that.
Yeah, speaking of comments, why don't we kind of check around and see what we got going? We have got a ton of comments because we have a ton of viewers, but let's see. Jason, you got anything? Producer Jason, you got anything? Yeah, just come on down through here. One of our faithful watchers, Blaine Rayleigh. Good evening. Thanks for watching, buddy. Colton Grider, that's one of our individual sponsors tonight, and he is excited to be with us. We're excited to be with you, Colton. Thanks for sponsoring us. Megan, another faithful watcher. She says, good evening, everybody. And Hannah Bradford. And Yeah, we'll
We
get
got
back
to hang out with her last week. She would hang around with us, and it was good to see them and several people from the group last week. So we had some fun last week. So
Yeah, it's good, and we'll get some more of those up in just a
Mhm.
second. But yeah, we are absolutely.
I have a feeling.
Oh
I know what it is.
no! What is this all about?
I have a feeling.
Wait, seriously, is somebody at y'all's door?
No,
No.
our door's like 30 feet that way.
Okay, somebody's getting impatient. I think that somebody is wanting in.
Ah!
No way!
Wow.
That was not on my bingo card for the night. I even talked to you about this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Pat Barker.
Woo!
What's going on?
You were getting a little impatient there, brother.
I learned how to knock from the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes.
I hear you. Well, Brady, I hope this is okay, but I thought it might be cool to have, another pretty decent bass singer in the genre kind of jump on with us. Yeah.
Oh no, this is perfect.
And nobody knew about this but me and Pat. So
Scott got with me today, and I said, man, I'd love to come on. I love the show, first off. Y'all do a wonderful job. I believe that. I love the program. I try to catch it every time I can. I try to comment and as humanly possible whenever I get the chance. But with Brady on, man, I just wanted to come on. I'm not going to take up a lot of y'all's time, but I just wanted to congratulate him because that is an awesome responsibility to step in, and be a Kingsman, because that is just one of those classic names in gospel music. That's up there with the Blackwoods and the Statesmen and the Cathedrals, and the Kingsmen are in that conversation. So to be 19 years old and step into that spot and be doing as good as you're doing, Brady, I literally can't stand you right now. I don't know where you thought I was going with that, but I actually just don't like you anymore. I used to, but now. No, thank you.
Well, while we've got you on with us, Pat, if you've got just a second,
I do.
Why don't you throw a question or two at young Brady from your perspective?
Let's see. What's the best advice you've gotten in the last month and a half? Not just from here, but maybe just another gospel artist. Just some great advice that maybe you've gotten.
I think the greatest advice came in the last 2 days. Really, we've got to sing a lot with the Wisnants.
Yeah.
And Ethan Wisnant came up to me and said, man, you're doing great. So I love to see that smile. You enjoy being up there. You enjoy everything about it. And that's true. I mean, there's not many days that go by that I don't just smile through the whole day, just experiencing what I get to experience. And he said, don't lose that enjoyment of it. And I think that's the best advice, because in anything that I do, I just try to enjoy it, smile, because otherwise, I mean, you can't hardly have a bad day if you spent most of it smiling.
That is correct. I used to tell people, I still do whenever they ask, but always be a fan. I was a fan growing up. I would pay to go see the concerts. I would get there early and watch the groups set up if they would let me come in early. And I'd stay as late as I could, hanging around the table. And I am 50 years old now, and I still do that. I still go in and watch group sound check. I still hang out with them at the table. That's usually because nobody's hanging out at our table. And I still watch the groups. I still want to go backstage, and I want to cheer them on, and I, smile right along with them. So he's right. Never lose that. That's advice for anybody in gospel music, not just the young folks. I think people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s need to continue to be fans as well, because it's so encouraging when you see other artists out there cheering you on and coming up and telling you did a great job. And it just makes the family much tighter, I think.
That's right.
Absolutely. And that's one thing that I love about Pat Barker. And
Me
I know we all love him for his humor and his quick wit. But one thing that I have noticed as a fan, because I am a fan and a very background person as far as Southern gospel music goes, but I'm at the tables and I'm seeing in the circles, and there's no better encourager than Pat Barker to other groups and to young people as well. And I've seen him take the time. So yes, that is awesome.
It's funny. So Ray will not remember this, Brady, but this is a true story. So I was a huge JD fan. JD was the first bass singer I ever saw. I was 12 years old. He was singing with the Masters 5. And I would go Stamps. Yeah, and I had a JD Sumner and the Stamps T-shirt. And the first time I went to see the Kingsmen, I wore my JD Sumner shirt to go see the Kingsmen. And so Ray, who of course had never met me, I think I was maybe 17 at the time, 16, 17. He said, "That's the ugliest shirt I have ever."
Classic Ray.
I said, "Well, if you'll give me a Kingsman shirt, I'll wear it." And he said, "No, it's $15."
That's great.
But that was my first experience with Ray Dean, and man, he's been a dear friend. He's a mentor to a lot of people, and I love Ray. I've got in videos of me getting to stand next to him, and I'm honored just to have those. So again, to be in your spot as a 19-year-old and doing as well as you're doing, never forget this part of your life. Always look back on this. I think when the Bible says return to your first love, it's obviously talking about with your salvation, return to what you fell in love with in the first place. But I think we can extend that just in our personal lives and think back on those wonderful times and never forget how good God has been to us in certain parts. I think that's why in the Old Testament, altars, right, to go back and remember. So this is a wonderful time for you, Brady, to just soak it in, my friend. You're living your best life.
That's right.
That is awesome. Well, and again, I know we're digging in your family time, Pat, but you want to throw one more question out there to him?
Yeah. What's the guitars back there? How many instruments do you play? Do you could y'all start doing some live music? Really, I would just prefer if you would play whenever Alan has a solo. He needs to be out as much as possible.
That's a popular request, actually. That's just a joke. I play quite a few instruments: guitar, a little bit of mandolin. I'm trying to look around. Just a little bit of steel guitar, piano, percussion. I've got some bagpipes somewhere in my music room.
Bagpipes.
What?
Bagpipes.
Oh, see, you already have Alan. You don't need bagpipes.
Man, where is he? This is very late in the episode for him not to be here still.
Yeah, he may pop in here in just a second, though. Don't know. We'll keep looking through the comments and see if we can find him. And now, Pat, you are welcome to hang or whatever you want to do. I just know that we are infringing on your time and family, and I thank you for taking the time and appreciate your support of this Southern Gospel Forward and these young folks and the young artists, because that means a lot. I did not realize, but you're the same age as me. They call me Papaw around here, but so yeah, I turned 50 a couple of months ago, so I did not realize we were the same age.
Yeah, I turned 50 in May. So yeah.
Okay.
I actually have a funny story with Pat here.
Okay.
My first quartet convention, the first artist I ever saw was Pat Barker. When we pulled in the parking lot, he was walking from the far end into the convention hall. So naturally, the first person I talked to when I got in was Pat Barker. And I walked up to him and I told him, I said, "Pat, I just wanted you to know you are my favorite baritone singer." I did. That's the first thing I said.
I love that.
No wonder I don't like you.
Right.
And Pat, it's just somebody else, another young face to get into that favorite bass of the year
Yes.
swing.
They're edging me out every year. I'm hanging on by a thread.
I don't know about that.
I don't mind that at all. I say Eric, he's so old that he can't have much time left. Eric's not long for this world.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even know how to react to that.
that's tough. There's really not much you can say about that, you know. But
I love you guys. Back to watching it over some tomato soup and a grilled cheese.
thank you, Brother Pat, for joining us.
Love you all. Thank you.
Me
Love
too.
you.
Thank you, bud. See you. Pat Barker, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to point out last week or a couple weeks ago when he came to the church, I asked him, I was like, from an artist perspective, what would you do to make Southern Gospel Forward better? And he said, have me on.
So
Well,
Now we're
and
perfect.
because y'all told me that, that's where this transpired from. So there you go. And
Awesome.
Brady, this is all about you tonight, but I thought that might be cool to have Pat pop on with us for just a second.
That was awesome.
All right, you got any comments now, Jason? I told Pat
We got all the comments.
yeah, when Brady Bear, thank you, Cole. That's gonna stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as Jason's looking for those comments, I told Pat when we saw him pop in that we would get him in, so that's why we kind of interrupted the flow there for a second. Josh Griffin, I got to meet Brady on his second night with the Kingsmen. That's cool.
Nice.
Thanks,
right.
Josh, for watching. And Rachel, producer Jason's wife, is watching. And oh yeah, you got to have popcorn. Popcorn is a must if you watch Southern Gospel Forward because the entertainment value is so very high.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing some watchers like Aaron Swain and Richie Works from the Southern Gospel industry. Thank y'all for joining us. I'm just calling out names as you're going. How about Brother Nick? Throw him up there. What's up, Brady?
Hey, I got to talk to Nick on the phone the other day, and me and him talked for, probably almost an hour. So me and him have definitely became real good friends, and we've never even seen each other in real life. So
yeah, well, I've got an idea, and several folks have. That night when we had Kennedy and Connor and Bailey, they were kind of cut short. And Riley wasn't with us on that night, but we kind of finished it out with letting folks ask us questions and had some requests from that, lots of requests, at least 2. And so we may do that again at some point. And I thought, who better to maybe host that with us and ask us questions than Brother Nick? So we may.
Okay.
That would be
good.
really
I thought
cool.
you meant
Yeah.
for Brady to do it. Brady, I've barely known Brady for a long time, but I'm scared for that
You've
part
known
of it.
Brady since October when I introduced you to him.
Yeah.
You got, here's one. And Drew is watching us. How about that?
Oh, is he talking about that night at our church? Because we definitely stayed around the piano and jammed till they were like out the door.
Thanks, Drew, for watching us. And absolutely best wishes for Drew. We'll pop up. So what is Brother Luke saying? Now, Luke is watching, and he says he can sing any part well. And I've heard that he can sing real tenor. I heard a little bit about it. Riley, tell us about that scrap iron quartet y'all formed on the boat.
So I guess for right off the bat, we found each other. Me, Elisha Moore, and Jack, who was playing with the Troy Burns family that week, and then Elisha Moore. We just got together. I guess I don't know how we all just got together, but we ended up going to the piano bar room and singing around, and I guess Brady just landed on the tenor part, and so
I love that.
Yeah, and we even did a little. I forget if it was Tuesday or Wednesday night. We did a little looking for a city, the back and forth between Mike Holcomb's granddaughter and him, and that's a video that I'll never delete, but. It may never get out there, but I'll never delete it. But I might would post it if I had enough money. But
That's awesome.
Watch it when
it was awesome.
Hey Brady, your mic is muted. I don't know if you know that, pal.
I do now.
There you go. I'm not good at reading lips. I was trying, but I could see he was trying to say something, and I thought it might have been interesting. So I got a question for you, Brady, and then we'll go back around the circle.
All right.
And I noticed a lot of banter back and forth, even in our Southern Gospel Forward, the private group, which is for young fans, define young, I don't know, 35 and below, something like that, and our Southern Gospel artists. But a lot of banter back and forth, even on this post about this show coming up. And I know y'all got together. I saw some awesome pictures and awesome videos of just young people gathered on the boat, just singing, playing, fellowshipping, enjoying each other. As you're on the road, I'm sure you see a lot of young people and they are drawn to you because your age, you and Cole, as being younger members of the group. But maybe speak on that about the youth in Southern Gospel, the bond of that community. And I'm just convinced that I'm seeing a youth resurgence in Southern Gospel music. What do you think?
You know, a great example of everything you just said. The other night, I cannot remember where we were, but we were with the Down East boys, Jeff and Sherry Easter, us, and the Inspirations, and Bill Bailey. And during the Parade of Hits, got every kid in the building under, say, I think it was under in their teens, and they all got up on stage to sing. And what blew me away is how many kids were singing the words, and not just, kind of starry-eyed, where am I, that singing the words and excited to sing the words. And as I've traveled, I've got to meet a lot of people who love gospel music, who want to sing gospel music, and they ask me, what can I do? And I say, do exactly what you're doing right now, and just go to concerts, talk to people, enjoy it. Like Pat said, be a fan. I'm still a fan. I tell people all the time, I'm getting to sing with other artists. I walk up to them, I say, I'm still just a fan. That's what I am.
That is fantastic. It blesses my heart. The whole vision of Southern Gospel Forward is to grow this youth movement, and bring the young artists and the young fans together and nurture that. And it just blesses. I was blessed by seeing all those videos and those pictures, especially on the boat, the gathering, and all that had gone down there. That was just fantastic. And looking at I know the National Quartet Convention just put out a lot of information about 2024 NQC that's coming up, and there's some awesome showcases, and the lineups are out there. And I was looking across that lineup, and I'm doing in my mind the visual. Okay, that group's got young folks, that group's got young folks, that group's got young folks, and it's just piled up all week long, young folks. So if Southern Gospel Forward is blessed to have a presence in the booth area, we're going to try to work some get-togethers of the young folks as well for the artists and the fans. That
charge $5 a picture.
With you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to pay $5 to anybody who will take a picture with you?
There we go.
I'd pay $5 if he wore his Elvis suit.
I'll pack it. I will pack it, but I cannot. Elvis used to come to NQC. He loved it. Like
he did.
They would sneak him backstage. Troy used to tell me, he was like, "Yeah, we were up there on stage. We looked down to the side stage, and there's Elvis just sitting there." Like, imagine, like that's awesome.
Hey, here's somebody we know.
Hey,
Brother Dwayne.
Brother Dwayne Guerin, a big-time encourager of young folks, and he is watching the show from Missouri. We appreciate you, Brother Dwayne, and all of your encouragement. All right, y'all, I talked, and we've had some comments. Let's go back another round with my young co-host. Y'all, Avery, you started us out before. Are you ready to go with another?
I'm ready. So I know you're with the Kingsmen, which is one of the longest-standing quartets out there right now. However, I always ask everybody to, if you could, travel with a group that is retired now and off the road former, who would it be and why?
Travel with a group that's off the road. That's a tough one, because anybody that's known me, if they've known me very long and asked me a question, it's always been, I would love to sing with one of three groups, the Inspirations, the Kingsmen, and the Mark Trammell Quartet. That's my three all-time favorite groups. And if I had to pick one of former or just all time, it'd be the Cathedrals. But I would gladly sing some other part as long as I got to sing with George and Glenn.
That's awesome.
But I'd play the the triangle if I could just, sit beside them and Mark and Danny and all those guys. I'd play the triangle. I'd snap my fingers or something.
You
Don't
could
even
do the
have to sing.
cowbell. More
That's
cowbell.
right.
Hey, look,
We always need more cowbell.
Jim Murray played on the Grammy Awards with the Imperials, played a cowbell, and it's one of the most viewed Southern Gospel videos of all time. So it's possible.
And now, fans, you know more than you did when you came on the show. Thank you, Evan. Evan, you got a question?
Yeah, I'm going to ask the question that most people have called my question now. What is your favorite road trip snack? Like, if you're on the bus and this isn't in the snack drawer, you're leaving. You're not going that weekend.
Okay, Dr. Pepper is one, and that's causing me some problems. I need to quit drinking Dr. Pepper because I'm going through quite a few a day. And really, I think it's going to be peanut butter crackers.
Okay.
That's the only thing I walked on the bus with my first weekend was some peanut butter crackers. That's it. So,
Well, we had this question several times, and I'd like to know the context because it sounds very hilarious. How many times have you been saved?
Oh. I know this
well,
story.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Can you hear us?
I think I've lost your audio, guys, but y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay. So that's a funny story that I have been known to tell from time to time. But I was saved one time when I was 13, but at an event later on in the concert setting, we had all heads bowed, eyes closed kind of deal. And we were going through a prayer that talked about just laying a burden down, maybe you being a little burdened about something. I was picking a college. And so at the end, I hear if you prayed that prayer, raise your hand. And so I raised my hand. And so at the end of the concert, they got done and said, all right, 11 or 12 souls were saved just now. And I sitting here thinking, well, was that me? And then afterwards, they kept going that 11 people had picked up their Bible and one person did not. And then I quickly realized that it was me indeed. But yeah, that's that funny story. And Luke Vaught was there to see it, which he has never let me forget that.
That was how I met Brady. That was the first story I heard about Brady. And that left an impression.
Brother Luke said, here it goes.
But he's muted again. Oh, no.
Oh,
At this time.
Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear y'all now. Every now
Okay.
and then I unplug a cord for whatever reason, but that's all right.
Here is a comment, and I really, really, really
Yeah.
appreciate Brother Gerald watching us. He is one of my favorite people in the world, and especially in Southern gospel music. I'm not 100% sure if that was when you said you wanted to travel with the cathedrals or when I was talking about NQC, but I just thank him for watching us.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to talk about an encourager of young people.
Golly.
There was one time I got to go to Great Smoky's Praise Fest, and he had just got done singing, and he had gone on, I think, back to the bus, and I talked to his daughter, Casey, and I just told her that, he had been a great inspiration to me as a piano player, as a singer, as everything. And I told her my name, and 3 or 4 days later, I had gotten an email from Gerald talking about how Casey had told him all that, and he had just been so encouraging to me. And that meant I may have been 15. That meant the world.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate Gerald and what he stands for.
And piggybacking off of that, and you're right, Gerald is an amazing encourager. And I think something similar was kind of asked a little bit, but as far as like the older, you mentioned that Ethan gave you that tidbit of advice, and that's wonderful. But as far as the older generation, because what I have noticed through my years is watching, and say older, I'm my age and older. So we're not talking just, ready to retire or anything, but there's a lot of encouragers in Southern gospel music that really pour in and put time into our young folks. Maybe who are some others, outside, of course, of Ray, of course, and then you mentioned Gerald, but who are some other folks that's really taking time to pour into you as encouragers?
There's been so many people along the way. I get scared to leave people out.
Sure.
Ray has been one of the biggest to me. Mark Trammell has given me more advice and sound counsel than I can even at this juncture, thank him for. But as well as he's really looked out for me through different times. The same with Danny Funderburk. That's another just absolute wonderful man. I got to eat breakfast with him on the cruise, and encouraged me then. He's encouraged me for years now. I've got to work so closely with some of my heroes, and I've heard people say for years, you don't ever want to meet your heroes. I'm so glad I got to meet some of mine, because they turned out to be just some of the best encouragement and people that I've ever had the privilege to know.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. Thankful for encouragers in every walk of life, but I'm especially thankful for our Southern gospel music mentors and encouragers that pour into our young folks. Thank y'all so much. We are sitting here. We're about a 42-minute mark. Thank y'all for who have been watching with us. If you're just joining us, settle on in and enjoy yourselves. If you're watching on Facebook, we would love for you to share it. Like the SBM Studios page. You won't miss the future episodes. And if you're watching on YouTube, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. And even if you're not watching on YouTube, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel, because that would help us out a great as we continue to grow. All right. Producer Jason says,
I was trying not to laugh so hard when I saw that.
Oh, well, that makes sense. And that's, that's tough.
Well, to answer that, I've already got to sing with Greater Vision.
Oh,
Yeah. And I respect Gerald's opinion, and I really do respect his opinion on not having a bass singer and why he doesn't have a bass singer. Because I share that opinion that he got to travel with the greatest bass singer ever. I've heard him say that before, and that's I agree with that.
But we can't lie, that quartet album is really good.
One of the best albums ever made.
I listen to it weekly, if not daily. It's that good of an album, or at least a song off it every once in a while on a playlist,
To make a point about that, my original copy of the Quartet's album for Greater Vision was so listened to that I really literally pretty much wore it out where the quality had got down, and I found another copy and had to replace it because it is absolutely one of my favorite projects.
Amazing.
And I'll say this, Brother Gerald, I would put Greater Vision in my top 3. So I'll go ahead and lay that out there since young Brady did.
I would too.
There you go, Riley.
I would too.
All right. Let's go another round of questions. Avery, you want to kick us off?
Here's another one we ask everybody, and I'd love to get the variety of answers across the board. If you did not sing, what would you do as like a normal job?
Well, being a 19-year-old, I've only had one other normal job. I was a radio DJ and sports broadcaster for our local radio station, which I greatly enjoyed. Love every minute of it. I still do it when I'm home as much as I can. But I'd say if I wasn't on the road singing, I would probably work somewhere in the financial industry. I come from a long line of bankers. Yes. Long line of bankers, and that's probably where I'd end up.
Yeah, that's one of those funny little unknowns that folks don't really, I don't talk about my vocation a lot, but yeah, I'm actually chief operations officer for a bank in Alabama. So yeah, you could do BIVO if you want to try to work 2 or 3 days a week and then hit the road on the bus. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Evan, knock it out of the park.
Tough
Here's
stuff. Here's a big question for you. You've been on the road for probably a month and a half. What is a story, even in times that you've filled in with groups, what is a story that will forever and always stick out to you as like something that you'll never forget on the road? It can be funny, it can be memorable. I mean, just something that always will stick out to you is kind of your favorite story on the road.
Well, there's for as little as I've done it, there is already so many moments that I think just each one has its own meaning. And I'll be honest, to just sit here and try to recall one, it's one of those things like they just hit you at random times. You just laugh about it. But one occurred last night. And that was Brandon was driving the bus, and we had tried to go into McDonald's, and the lobby was closed, and they wouldn't see us. They wouldn't take our order, just us people standing out in the line. So Brandon took the bus through a McDonald's drive-through
Nice.
and ordered out the window, and he made it work. We got our food, and
I'm trying to think. Did he hit the little like?
no, he had just how he did this. He angled it. Well, he'd come around first of all, and we couldn't get through the first sensor. We just pulled up to the first window, and we're like, "Hey guys, we're in a bus, and we are hungry, and everything else is closed." And they're just kind of like, "Okay," and took our order, and but we got our. That was a really good Big Mac too.
That's great.
The one with the Big Macs and Waimea,
So no,
Florida.
not only does Brady like Dr. Pepper and peanut butter crackers, he is a connoisseur of Big Macs. So
All
there you
right.
go.
I'm a connoisseur of many foods.
Same.
My kind of guy.
I think it's a bass singer thing. We just really like to eat.
Evan was talking about a cheeseburger in paradise before this aired. Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Sir Riley, you're up.
Yes. I saw this question asked, and I'd be curious too. What was your favorite moment from the cruise last week?
The cruise I was excited going into it, but once I got on it, it was just my favorite thing about the cruise was the young people. It was refreshing to me to see others my age and younger singing gospel music as a choice, not on stage, but to come into. I mean, we sung from at one point. I know we started at midnight, and we were still singing at 4:00 in the morning. And just sitting around a piano, we went from 4 people to probably about 20 people, back to 2 people. And I mean, any of those numbers in between. But that was by far some of the greatest memories I have of the cruise, is just singing with the other people that are right around my age.
Even me. Oop.
Even you. Hey,
Even me.
that might be an idea for NQC. If we get the booth space, we'll put in a piano bar. And
Look,
no,
I've got
that
a
probably
very
wouldn't go
portable
on.
piano right here. I can just put it in a backpack. I got you.
Oh man, but I love seeing those young folks. Producer Jason, we have anybody popping anything? Oh, here's a very
Here it is.
one of our deep questions.
Woo!
Brady, which way is upstairs?
Up is up and down is down. To go from the 8th floor to the 9th floor, you go up the stairs. I was sitting at the table, and Alan walked by and goes, "I'm going upstairs to do something." And I said, "Which way is that?" And he said, "Upstairs." And so I went upstairs, and sure enough, I had to pass 2 or 3 tables, and one was the Mark Trammell Quartet. And the first thing I hear is, "Did you find your way up?" And so Alan had already come up, told all of them about it. And by the time I'd come through, at least 4 or 5 people had stopped me and said, "Hey, which way's up?"
I can nearly guarantee if it was at the Mark Trammell Quartet table, it was Nick Trammell that asked you.
My silence is a good enough answer.
There you go. There it is.
Oh,
There it is. You got another one to pop up, bud? Ryan Heim.
That was
Ask him
my
who his favorite music
elementary.
teacher was.
Yeah, that was my elementary school music teacher. And the first
Ah.
time I ever sung on a stage was in The Lion King, which he had helped put on. I was Scar, and it was the first time I ever sung
Of
or
course
got
you
on
were.
the stage. My favorite music teacher. He's up there. Him and my high school choir director. It really just he gave me my first singing opportunity. My high school choir director really kind of dug in and taught me how to sing. He classically trained me, which I don't like to throw that around because opera is opera.
Wait, do you sing opera?
I don't like it.
What
I
do
just
you do?
Well, at one point I guess you could say that. At one point I did a little bit, but I don't like it.
To be fair, opera, tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm still just kind of delving into music, like vocal music, but like quartet style bass and opera style bass are
Two different.
two different.
See, I was actually I was actually classically trained as a baritone. So I didn't do anything bass in opera stuff.
Nice.
Nice.
We're learning all the new things about Brady.
Mhm.
This is why we had this episode.
Let's pop a couple more from our peanut gallery. I think we got Terry Carter. Thank you so much, brother Terry, for joining us. And I agree, it is such a blessing to see talented young people coming up in the industry and young fans as well. Michael Long, and this is similar to a question I think that's kind of been broached, but maybe came in a little late. Said, what would you say to someone who wants to be with a group one day?
Go to concerts. This is the exact advice I was given. If that's the desire that you have on your heart, pray about it. Go to concerts, talk to the artists, and without getting too involved, be involved in really just having conversations. What is it like to live that kind of life? Figure out if that's the life you want to live, because it's a difference full time in singing in your church. You could have the desire to sing, and singing in your church could fill that desire of your heart. Or if you think you want to be full time, figure out what that means, because so many people think that, and then they get on the road and realize that that's a little different. But that's go to concerts, speak to people, speak to the artists, talk to them, and be a fan always.
And that's good sage advice too. And I know it's easy for fans to look and see the singing on the platform with your quartet mates, seeing the time at the table, and that's all they see. That's all that is out there in front of anyone. And there's a lot more that goes to that as far as life on the road, from the setup to the tear down to the wanky hours of going to bed, about 2 or 3 in the morning, getting up at the crack of noon, and just being away from family and so many different things. It just so much to it. But yeah, absolutely. And also, I'll interject this, and I've never, ever sang on the road professionally, just in regional groups. But a major thing for any young person out there that thinks that they may have it on their heart to sing is, I would say, pray for the Lord's will to be done in your life, and to set your steps in order as He will, and then follow the path that He leads you to. And that didn't cost you anything. What else you got out there? Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, we've got a question that was posed from inside the building here. Young assistant to the regional producer, Dawson Baines. What all forms of entertainment do y'all have on the bus? And I bet y'all know something in particular he's wanting to hear.
Yeah, TV and Alan Kendall.
TV and Alan
No.
Kendall.
You got to put it in order. Alan Kendall, then TV.
Well, no, TV and Alan Kendall. No, I'm just kidding. But
so no gaming systems.
Well, yes, they're. I don't particularly game on the bus, but
Okay.
Cole has a Nintendo Switch, and so does Thomas. and they enjoy that. Alan
Okay.
and myself, we like to watch TV.
Okay.
Or I'll just sleep. That's some of the best entertainment you can have is sleeping.
There's something different about a bus couch. I'm telling you what. I'm usually not one to nap, but bus couches just got something about them.
That's right. That's true.
Here's your question from Christy.
So Brady Jones did not celebrate his birthday on the cruise, but Bradley Jones did.
Oh.
Close enough.
Brad.
We had several birthdays on the cruise. We celebrated White's, and I don't remember. Mike Holcomb's birthday was on the cruise, and that was really cool.
Oh, I got sung to at the restaurant because somebody had alerted the waiter that it was my birthday. It was not my birthday, but the waiter also called me Bradley. So I said that it was Bradley's birthday.
Bradley's birthday.
I love it. Got another one for us, brother? Kevin Roberts, the Kingsmen are sounding good. Good bunch of guys that's together. Yes, it is. They are really enjoying the Kingsmen and seeing and hearing them right now. And got anything else? We're good right there. Okay, we made it through a round. So Avery, why don't you kick off another round of y'all?
You better not steal my question. I'm going to be mad. I've been thinking a whole episode of a good question, and I finally got one.
Well, I did see one that I thought was kind of good from the comments. It was this guy, I don't know, what is his name? Calais? Watts? Calais? What? He wanted advice for himself.
Calais Watson. Yes. The best advice I could give to Calais Watson is just to be nice to your bass singer. Show him kindness. You know, he does a lot for you, so show him some kindness.
That's not the first bass singer that he sang with that I've heard that from. So he'll know what I'm talking about.
You know, once bad habits develop, it's just hard to shake.
Right.
I have faith in them.
Like a little support group with each other now.
Yes, the bass. Yeah, that's right.
No, I saw that pop in and thought that was funny.
Good stuff.
In reality, what is one of you? And now I know you're just going with the Kingsmen, but you have been a fan for years. And like I met you at Quartet Convention. What is your favorite event of the year, or what are you looking most forward to sing at as a Kingsman?
As a Kingsman, I'm going to say there's three, and I'm probably going to leave one out. Well, there's probably, I can think of so many, but I'm going to narrow it down to three. The cruise next year is already back on my radar. I'm excited. I'm going to buy some more fancy little sun shirts, you know, the button ups that are like.
Make sure you wear that fancy little hat too.
Did you like my hat?
I like the hat. Yeah.
I loved my hat. I got some odd looks, but the cruise, the Big and Live festival coming up the start of April.
That was good.
A lot of great groups. I'm so excited. That's part of that history and legacy that I'm just so excited to be a part of. And then the Quartet Convention, and I mean that is the premium event of Southern gospel music, and I'm really excited to be on a different side of it. I've been many years, but this is going to be the first year I step on the stage and
soak it up, brother. Soak it up.
We're going to be rooting you on over there.
And is it not right? The Kingsmen are going to be at Singing in the Smokies this year. So you're talking about legacy events. I mean, it's the first time Singing in the Smokies has happened. There's old videos of Ray back in the 90s singing on that stage. So it's another big one that I at least would stick out to me. Is Singing in the Smokies, getting to sing there. That's that historic ground.
I'm excited for that one, almost as equally. But it's just hard to the Memphis Quartet show, the James Bond, all of that stuff. I'm so excited for it.
Yep. Evan, what you got?
This is one that everyone asked on the group, but one that I personally, I've got a ton of Kingsman records back here, and I'm a Kingsman, a huge Kingsman nut myself. It's kind of hard to layer. I'm not going to ask your favorite song, but if there's an album that of the Kingsmen, this can be something as current as Unstoppable God, Victory Shout, or something as old as like Daddy Sang Bass. What is an album that is your favorite by the Kingsmen?
I'm going to say, and I'm going to make sure that I say this. It's not that I don't know. I have 2 albums that I'm going to make sure that I say correctly and I don't get them confused because there's so many. The Kingsmen put out over 1,500 songs, and it's just so there's so many songs to pick from. But the past is past, and then probably Born Again.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's just some of my favorite songs. And there's some great songs when the Kingsmen made the transition over to Carolina Boys. Just so many songs to pick from. It's almost impossible. It's like, saying out of the infinitely many M&Ms, what is your one favorite M&M?
Right.
Not color of M&Ms. What is your one favorite M&M you've ever had?
Right.
Good stuff. How about it, Riley?
We had this question in the group. What are like a song or 2 or 3 songs you'd like to bring back that you haven't already?
The one song that I have not got to sing yet is So High.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Which is why
Yes.
one reason I'm looking forward to being live so much, because I know it'll be back there.
Yeah.
I've got to bring back Go and Tell Somebody. Always enjoyed singing that song. And that's just a tough one. Once again, there's so many songs to pick from. I don't think just simply the way that that way the songs are. One song I'd love to sing is "Sweet Land of Rest" off of that "Past Is Past" album. One of my favorite songs of all time, and just so many more. These are tough. When you bring it to songs, that's where I get tough questions because I forget songs anyways. But now I've got 1,500 to try to seep through my mind.
Yep. And here's a fellow artist, Sound Street. We appreciate Jared Vanderslice and Jaylee and Ryan Bilby being supporters of Southern Gospel Forward. But going along this, like right now, what you are staging, which may be your favorite Night to Night song?
I just stopped by.
That's awesome.
Is probably becoming very quickly my favorite. And I tell you what, and this surprises people. I've Ever Been Glad was my least favorite song I've ever sung up until about 2 weeks ago. And I just started to really enjoy it.
Good.
But until then, I've just Ever Been Glad. I dreaded having to sing that song. It's not because I didn't like the song. It's one of those things I didn't think fit my voice, but I love it now.
It's a very rangy song. Like, honestly, whenever I heard you sing that for the first time, I was like, this guy's got it. Like, that was my like.
You licked it off, and we looked at each other, and we were like,
that was my confirmation of, that's a.
He got it.
That's the guy right there. Please pull up Cole Watson's most recent comment. Pretty sure, Jason, please. Just because it broke me, and honestly, it's usually Alan. It's usually Alan that breaks me, but tonight it was Cole. So good job.
Brady sang bass. Brady sang tenor. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. I think he also asked. What did he ask? Yeah, something about let's go back in there. I saw something. There it is. He said, "How much do you appreciate your current baritone and lead singer?" That was from Cole.
No comment.
Okay. And now let's get back on track. We had another question from the Peanut Gallery I want to put up there, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Miss Rachel asked.
Pull in more often, and I just
what's your favorite scripture or verse, if you have one?
And I'm really glad Pat being on was such a surprise, but I'm really glad he was because my favorite scripture changed while Pat was doing his Bible studies. And when he did a lesson over 1 John 3:16, that became my favorite scripture. And it talks about what true love is to being willing to lay down your life for another. That is a rough recitation of scripture there. But when Pat did the lesson over that, I fell in love with that verse.
And yes, that is an awesome verse. Thanks for sharing that. Mary Beth May, how many songs have you had to memorize so far?
There's a lot. And so many. I would put it around. I think I'm at right now new songs. I would say I'm around 30 songs, 35 new songs that I've looked at. Just because there are quite a few of
Absolutely.
the ones lately that I already knew. And of course, only about 1,200 to go.
There you go.
There,
A while ago when we were going through, y'all made it all the way around the circle to Riley, didn't you?
yes.
I thought so. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and transition real quick. First of all, are we doing okay on time, Brady? We don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah, as long as you all want, I'm enjoying this.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. So here's a little thing just to change it up. And sometimes this gets interesting and can be comical and can be whatever you want it to be. But we put you on the spot with a lot of questions. So maybe throw a question out to any and or all members of our panel here. You got Riley, Evan, Avery, and myself. What's a question or two that you would like to ask us?
Well, this is interesting. I wasn't planning on this, but as you all have had the opportunity to have a lot of great young artists, and if you had to, and this is just
You better
simply
not make
because-
us pick one.
No.
well, I'm not going to make you pick one, but if you had to pick your favorite part, or if you want to pick a musician instrument, you had to pick a favorite part of somebody you've got to talk to, not necessarily on the podcast or just in general, what would you pick?
I don't know that I understand the question. Like the singing part?
Yeah, singing part,
Like,
or
like
if you
across
want
the
to pick.
board, like
Alto, soprano, tenor,
I'm-
lead,
shut up, I
baritone,
know
bass.
like I don't know.
It's that sibling love right there. Yes.
Like okay, we've had like so many lead singers. Like lead singers have been my favorite so far. Like just I don't know. I'm confused. Sorry.
I got the question. Would you like me to answer it, Brady?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. And if this isn't, I'm about to embarrass myself, but I don't believe in embarrassment. So, if it's what I'm thinking, what you're saying, usually when I go to concerts, I'm always talking to the bass singers because for years upon years upon years, that's what I wanted to sing until I sang baritone, and now I talk to a lot more baritone. So anyone kind of down in the bass baritone area, and when it comes to musicians, if there's a drummer on stage, I'm bothering him until I get on the kit.
That's what I meant. What's your, I guess, the part, if you go to a concert, you tend to gravitate towards the most?
Well,
I worded that very oddly.
Riley, you go ahead. I'm going to think on it for a minute. My brain's still trying to process.
I'd say I'd probably go. I don't know if I'd particularly pick a part, but baritone. I always will talk. If Luke is there, I will always talk to Luke because Luke is amazing. And just from this last week, and Alan Kendall, I got to talk to Alan Kendall while he set up the table there in the casino. We were real spiritual this week in the casino, and yeah. He was really disappointed it wasn't open, and I was right there with him.
Hey, now we're going to get emails and letters. Whoa, back up.
Refer them to Riley.
Wow, let me jump in and save this. Now, I'm along the lines when it comes to what I gravitate toward is generally the baritone part in a traditional male quartet because anytime I listen to singing, I'm picking it all apart. I'm hearing every movement, every voice. It's just the way my head works. And baritone at times, I used to have an uncle that joked about the fact that, you have your tenor part, you have the bass part, you have your lead, and then the baritone just hits whatever notes left. But a lot of times, the baritone part is a very intricate harmony part that jumps all over the place and is a lot of times adding the even some of the off chords, etc. So I love the baritone. I love a smooth baritone. That's why I really enjoy being in the presence of Mark Trammell. There's no better baritone ever than
absolutely.
To me, the top two probably all time is Mark Trammell and Doriot, and then a very underrated baritone who is amazing because he has been taught to do it right is Scoot Shellnut. If you sit and study and listen to Scoot Shellnut sing baritone, it's textbook. And then on instrumentation, I got to say, it's always the piano for an odd reason. I really appreciate, pianists have different styles, different flash. What I love is the pianist who knows when to play and when not to play, if that makes sense. I love the consummate accompanist. That's easy for me to say, but knows when to hit the chord, knows when to do the fills, knows when to add a little flash to it. Has perfect rhythm, perfect meter, everything. You just leading the sound. I love to hear like when the second half quartet comes up and it's just the piano and the bass. And with voices and the piano driving that, and there's none better than Gerald Wolfe, by the way, to me, and that when I'm talking about, and I'm gravitated to the piano and hearing that. So that's a long answer. So Avery, have you got your answer yet?
I figured it out. Okay, my brain's not broken anymore. So I would say, just simply because I'm a female and it's just sometimes a little awkward to like make that like barrier move across to the male parts, I do. But I'm going to go with the altos because that's my people. That's what I am. I'm an alto, and I come by and honestly, and I want pointers of like, hey, you hit that crazy awesome low note. I want to know how you hit that as a female. If it's just a male quartet, I do, for some reason, always, if it's a quartet, I'm going to be closest to the baritone singer. I don't know why. You got Mark Trammell, and Luke, he'll talk to anybody. I was thinking of one other one, and then my brain went blank. My brain is not doing
There's
okay
a lot
today.
of baritones.
There's so many baritones that, I mean, like even Alan, he's hilarious. I'll talk to him when I see him. John Epley from Greater Vision. I love
the best baritone voices.
But I also, if there are bluegrass instruments on that stage being played, I will go talk to those musicians. Not that I can talk music or bluegrass. I can play a little bit of mandolin, but not enough to like talk music. But if I see like a fiddle, a banjo, a mandolin, like a steel guitar, even Brady, I'll be like, you're one of my people. I love bluegrass music too. Thank you for what you do. So
Cool. You know this guy that popped up, Brady?
I've never met him in my life.
Well, he said he raised you, and he was confused by the question as well.
Yeah, that'd be my dad.
Thank you, Pop, for watching us, and thank you for giving us the time with Brady. You got another question for you? Want to try another question, Brady, or is that?
Please don't break my brain again. I've got to interview people tomorrow.
You've been around Alan too much. That's what it is.
I tell you what,
brain breaking ones.
I've been driving most of the day, trying to get home, and I just poorly worded that question.
It's good.
And
it's
staying
good.
up till 3 and 4 in the morning playing Mafia does not help anything at all.
That's right. Well, you're in a position, Avery, Evan, and Riley, and not to exclude you, Scott, but as young people in the industry that are kind of making their own impact per se, just a difference. What's been something that you've really enjoyed about this whole Southern Gospel Forward processes, and maybe not just the podcast, but what all have you all put into it that maybe goes on, backstage, and what do you enjoy about doing that the most?
I do understand this question, so I'll go.
Wow.
I had seen Riley at concerts and stuff because he's Riley. You can't miss it.
I freaked him out the first time I met him.
But
sure did.
As a rule of thumb, I'm not an introvert. I guess I'm an introverted extrovert. I will make conversation, but I'm not gonna like go out. You know what I mean? Anyway, I have loved the community that we have formed and the friendship that we've gotten to know Riley so well. I mean, we text each other multiple times a week, and we have each other howling, laughing. We have inside jokes, and then I've also enjoyed creating this community. Before, when I went to singings, it was like, I don't know anybody. Like, there's a few old ladies that I know that I love, but I don't have anybody my age to hang out with. And now, like a quartet convention, I mean, there was a huge group of young people that I got to know, I got to hang out with, and now we see each other at singings, and it's just great to catch up with these people and know, hey, I'm not alone at 23. It's not popular to go to Southern Gospel concerts. It's not popular to do that on Saturday night. My friends normally aren't doing that. So it's been really great to grow this community and know that we're not alone.
That's right.
Do you want me to go
anything
next?
add? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm still
whoever
kind
else-
of thinking on this one.
Well, I think one of the coolest things thus far has been going to concerts or big events or whatever, and people saying like, we enjoy what you're doing, and that's like
Mhm.
very rewarding. Not that you do it for recognition or anything, but like when I met young people on the cruise last week, I had something to point to, like, hey, there are other people just like us, and there is a community out there. You're not alone. And it was just really, really cool to just stand around the piano and sing, like, and people would know the songs, the old gospel songs, the old hymns, and I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope we can do it for a long time.
I guess I'd say the best thing about doing stuff with Southern Gospel Forward is when you go to a concert, a lot of times the artist, you're bragging on the artist. You walk up to the artist, you're like, hey, great job. You killed this song. You did good on this. But then whenever they tell you, thank you for what you're doing, and that means that you've meant something to them as much as they've meant to you. I mean, I look up guys like Pat Barker. Like, I've looked up to Pat for years upon years. Looked up to guys like Cole. I mean, heck, I've sang in a place where Cole has sang before. I've looked up to Cole for a lot of years, and to like have him on the podcast and for him to say that it's making a difference to gospel music, that's something that means something to me. That I'm doing something that means something to people that I love so much as well, and nothing, like Riley says, it's not that I do it for recognition. I don't want to do it for recognition at all, but you know what I mean by that.
Yeah, and what you all are doing is it really is just absolutely fantastic, because young people getting involved in the industry, they need to see it, and the only way that they see it a lot of times is other young people.
Absolutely.
Was
It's
the nap
bad.
good?
Is that a good nap?
It's not the first person
Papa.
that snapped through the episode, so.
I was encouraged to take a nap through that since I'm too old for it.
That's
What?
That's good.
Wow.
What happened?
Evan said that's not the only
Look,
person who slept through an episode.
I only do it through this way because I knew if that happened in real life, if that happened in real life, Riley, it's like, yay, bigger than me and could probably pick me up with one arm. So.
And Peanut Gallery kind of got ugly to me while I was taking my nap.
Yeah,
I will take that, though. I'm basically an old man in a young man's body, so I will take that 100%. So
Appreciate that there, young Cole. And brother Pop Bradford was ugly to me too. Did you say that?
Well, he can't say nothing.
He can't say nothing.
No, back up. There was another one up higher. That was ugly.
Oh, yeah.
Golly.
Hey, wow.
Hey, I own that I have got the face for radio. I'm one of those 100-yard beauties. I look better from the other end of the football field. But anyway, so there you go. And I am so thankful for the young community of Southern Gospel. I'm thankful for my young partners. I'm the world's worst on hesitating at times when God nudges, and the Southern Gospel Forward thing was on my heart for a while. And then I remember the evening last year at the Sand Mountain Song Fest, which is coming up in a couple of weeks in Arab once again, but talking to young Avery and young Evan about this. And Riley never had met me before. I'd seen Big Red. I'd seen him at some of the concerts. It's kind of hard to miss, but I reached out to him just because I could see that he was very highly thought of by artists, and they both said yes to this, and it's just blessed my heart to see the community grow. I hope we keep growing. I hope that the bond of artists and young fans keep growing. And I thank y'all so much for doing this. Producer Jason says we need to throw one up. Oh, goodness gracious. Brother Jared.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That means so much. And And I don't know. We have a lot of artists that comes on and off, and sometimes they don't always comment, but so several watch, and that blesses. I know I speak for myself. It blesses my heart. I know it blesses Avery and Evan and Riley as well, though, the support that you guys and just having y'all in the room, just y'all giving us a little bit of your time and your attention. That means the world to
And
us.
heckling it sometimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it is our desire to always represent everything Southern gospel the way it should be represented. Yes, positively, encouraging, promoting everyone, and most of all, promoting the Lord. So we thank y'all so much for that support. Have we got a few more questions that y'all can throw out there?
Alan has got his heavy hitter. So.
Okay. Let's see if we can find it right quick. All right, here we go.
Well, that's
can you do this?
I think it just so. Let's say the bus is going this way. You need to sleep with your feet going this way, which I did not know that when I got on the bus. So I slept backwards the first 3 nights.
Oh.
And when it was brought up to me that I was sleeping backwards, I simply asked the question, why is that considered backwards? And they said, well, you stay right there and have Brandon throw on the brakes. And I quickly realized that should there be a need for immediate braking, I would be getting quite the jolt in my head.
And so here again, this is a learning show for all young artists. If you don't know how to sleep in a bunk,
know.
There you go.
My problem so much wasn't how to sleep in one; it was how to get up there. They put me on top bunk, and I'm 5'6". I mean, we had a 6-foot-something guy who could have climbed up there. No, let's put the short guy up there and watch him struggle every night.
Good stuff.
Ooh-wee.
All right. Got some more for him? Oh, here we go. Question for Brady. When did your voice start gravitating toward bass? You don't see many 19-year-old with a bass voice.
Right about the age of 15, I got to where I was every day I'd be in the choir room, and I'd walk up to the piano. I'd say, Mr. Lowe, who is the name of my music teacher, said, Mr. Lowe. I said, see how low I can go. I'm just curious. I just want to try it. And so it was just about every day. So I can remember from about 7th grade up until my freshman years when I'd really keep trying to stretch. And he just helped me, give me some tips on how to open up my voice to get to sing lower. So that's about around 15 is when I started to be able to do it. And, but it's constant. My voice, I'm still in the point where my voice still changes. Now it's not quite as drastic, but certain things get easier as I get older.
Excellent.
This was a question that was asked. When did you know you were called into music ministry, and how did you know you were being called into music ministry?
I loved gospel music all throughout high school, and in my mind it was always something that I could enjoy, but I couldn't be away as much as that. And then quickly I went to college, and I quickly felt that not school in general, but the idea of doing anything else just kind of was awful to think about. And not that I didn't want to do anything else. There's a lot of other things I felt I could do and enjoy. It just was something that constantly I wanted to be doing that. And I think the Lord really put it on my heart that was what I was meant to be doing at this juncture in my life. Because he opened doors that I've always told people, doors that I never thought would open. I really didn't think I deserved to be open at this point in my life. But things that just worked out perfectly, and had one thing gone just a little different, it wouldn't have happened.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. All right. It's time for our final rounds, I guess. You got anything else? This is the opportunity to ask the memorable question.
I don't think I have another one that I can think of.
Evan?
No, not really. I ain't got none right now. Huh? That's strange for me.
Riley, any more from the group or any more from you?
I had
Agreed.
one I promised the other night at like 2 or 3 in the morning that I promised I would ask.
Okay.
And I don't listen to non-gospel music, but I was told to ask what your favorite Morgan Wallen song was. I think it was, or was it? Yeah, that was what it was. Yeah. If you know, you know.
Your mic's muted there, Brady.
Yeah. Interesting. I couldn't tell you a favorite one. I enjoy music. I enjoy all kinds of music, but I don't know of necessarily a favorite song.
Folks are trying to get us they're trying to get us in trouble on this one. I've kind of felt that,
Who knows?
So,
Josh Garner had a couple funny questions in the comments
He
as well.
did.
I wanted
all right,
to bring up.
throw it out there. If we hadn't seen it, we may not have.
Who have you learned the most from in your short time in gospel music, and why is it Josh Garner?
Josh is an absolute just a hoot to travel with, and there's so many stories that come. A backstory. I traveled just a few weekends with the Chuck Wagon Gang, helping out, playing a little guitar, singing a little bit, and just so many great memories. I absolutely love all the folks that I got to travel with: Cody, Shay, Melissa, Josh, and it was a great time. I enjoyed it, but Josh, he really did tell me, just give me some good insight on how to make it, how to not get burnt out on what I was doing and stuff
Excellent.
like that. I don't remember the other half of that question.
And
what is it
for good reason?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What is it like to be folded into a sleeper sofa?
Well, that's a story. We're in the hotel room, and I was actually FaceTiming Zachary Wilburn, who I think is still watching.
Mm-hmm.
He commented about this earlier.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I was just laying there and talking to him. He was asking me how it was going, and I said it's going great. I had my headphones in, and next thing I know, I feel myself being lifted into the air and squished into a couch with my arm out of the couch. So Zach got to see all of this unfold. I don't know how it happened.
Unfold or fold.
Fold. And Josh had successfully completely put me into that fold in bed, and it put me back into couch form. And with my hand out with the phone like this, it wasn't painful, but I fit. And
Wow.
there you go.
I've never heard of anybody being folded into a couch before. Interesting. I think Jason has got a couple that pop up right quick. Hutzel.
Oh.
Okay, who's your favorite young artist
Young
that is
artist,
your age or younger?
my age or younger.
Which
That is
nails
I
it
have
down
played
really
before, and
small.
I'm younger than you, Brady. So
that's the tough thing. There's
No, you're not. You're a week.
I'm a
older
week.
than him.
I'm a week older than you. Never mind. I can't. So I'm your number one.
I tell you
That's
what, I do want to give a little shout out to somebody I ran across the other day.
Okay.
And I thought he was doing a great job. Liberty Quartet just hired a new tenor,
Yes.
Mhm.
who's 19-year-old Peyton Olive.
Mhm.
And I listened to him sing the other day. Fantastic young tenor singer. And I want to give him a shout out. He's doing a great job. And he messaged me the other day and we tried to encourage each other, because it's really encouraging to hear from someone equally as young as you getting to do what you're getting to do and hear their take on it.
Awesome. Couple more quick ones. Nathan Dewberry.
I know
What
him.
is a hidden talent that you have?
Well, look, there's a steel guitar behind him. What kind of steel is that, Brady?
That was an interesting find. It is an Ernie Ball steel guitar.
Oh,
I just got to learn. I'm not a great steel guitar player. I briefly understand the concepts of it. A hidden talent. I do have a hidden talent. I'm one of the worst golfers you will ever meet, and that in itself. But I tell people it's not that I'm a bad golfer. I'm a funny golfer. I will hit shots
Happy Gilmore.
you never thought were possible. And I consider that a great talent. They're terrible shots, but you would have never thought they
movie
were
about
possible.
a man like this.
That's right, there is. I love Happy Gilmore.
I watched Happy Gilmore
Hey,
at 1
rest
in the
in peace
morning
to,
with closed captioning because it was muted in Nashville. And it was a good time.
Who played Chubbs? Oh, he just passed away.
He just passed away the
He
other
did.
day. I shared it on my Instagram.
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but yeah,
Carl Weathers.
Carl
There you
Weathers.
go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Papa
Apollo
knows
Creed.
because he was
Great.
Apollo Creed. Any more that we want to pop up right quick? Harold Reed. Oh, thanks, Harold, for watching
Thank
us.
you,
And he
Harold.
says Brady's a great young talent, bright future ahead of him, and we wholeheartedly agree.
I
I
appreciate
tell you
that.
what, let's take a second, Brother Jason, and talk a little bit about all things Kingsman Quartet. We
yeah.
definitely want to.
Mhm.
We got. Look at that.
Whoa.
Stuff
Whoa, look at
we've got fresh photos that's having
Who's that
Brady.
young
Look
whippersnapper?
at there, right there
Brady
in
and
the
Reese right
mix.
there.
And if you'll go to the website, and I think we've got it here at kingsmanquartet.com. If you'll go to kingsmanquartet.com, you can find out all things Kingsman, including the tour. You can follow where they're going to be, keep up with them, and go see them when they're in your area. And you can shop their store, get their latest products, get their latest the music, and
I don't know if y'all are still selling the shirt, but still.
yeah, look at
We
that.
have
There's
a
some
few
merch.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have a few more of those shirts left.
So go there if you will. We always say that we appreciate these artists giving us their time. So we would love for y'all to appreciate on them and just show them some love. Go see them in person and support them. Get online, buy their music. You'll be blessed. Kingsman does it as good as anybody on the road. Fantastic. And also, you can find booking information there. You can contact, and you can have the Kingsman Quartet come to you.
Done it 2
so-
times.
Brady Jones might show up
Right.
out of nowhere.
Look,
That's right.
I'm just saying, things happen when you book the Kingsmen at your church. You're welcome, Brady.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Take the credit there. That's all right. Take the
I
credit.
mean, I'd had that concert booked for
Look, Cole
At least a year.
pre-anointed it, and then
Let's, Brady, if you want to, take a second too and tell us about the Unstoppable God project. I know that's latest, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So we had just got this on the table, I think 2 weeks ago, and and people have just been so incredibly supportive of the project. I love the project. I'm learning all the songs right now, and
Right.
it's just fantastic. It's coming out on streaming. Oh no,
needs to be soon.
The 16th.
the 16th. Hey, thank you.
ooh,
My pleasure.
And so it's coming out the 16th, and I'm so excited. Yeah, we're excited for you all to hear it. It is a great project, and it is done really well. A lot of people have come up to get at the table. If you catch us in concert before then, we will have that for you all. So
I got my
Fantastic.
copy.
yes,
I've
yes,
got
you did.
a copy.
copy. Yeah.
Got it the night it came out.
I have got to get it. I got to get it. But the Kingsmen are going to be coming. Oh my goodness. And I should know this. The Kingsmen are going to be coming to our neck of the woods at Fayette. Goodness gracious. It's in July. I can't remember the date, but of course that'll be on their website. But that is at the Fayette Civic Center in Fayette, Alabama. For my West Alabama friends, they'll be coming, and we look forward to having them there. Brady, I hope that this has not been too painful for you. We have thoroughly enjoyed having you with us tonight.
This has been a blast, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you all and what you do, and just what you're really working to create. I think this right here, what you all are doing is going to make all the difference in 20 years. I really do think there's going to be a whole community that fell in love with gospel music because of what you all have started here.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much, brother. We hope so. That's our prayer and
Mhm.
our hope. And we're just so proud of our young artists like you. And you just keep knocking it out of the park. And we appreciate you greatly. And I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you a little more. I look forward to see you in person. That's for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
I still have the hopes at some point that we might at NQC have a Southern Gospel Forward get together of our young artists and young fans. And that date at Fed, if anybody's interested, is Saturday, July 27th at the Fed Civic Center. We'll have the Kingsmen. So we want to get that plug out there. Anything else from my young partners before we go off of the air and let our viewers have a restroom break? We've been on an hour and a half. They've been hanging in with us this long.
Well, Brady would not advertise this, but he has a single on Apple Music.
It does.
And
It's great too.
Jingle Bell Boogie. It's not Christmas, but
I like Jingle, I like Bell, and I like boogie music. So you checked all 3 boxes, man.
I think he even has an album you can buy, so you need to go do that too. So
fans, look up
just a
Brady
little plug there
Jones on Apple Music.
And Spotify.
Jingle Bell.
Are you singing on this one? What vocal part?
It's this was just purely for fun. A friend of mine asked me to come up with some sort of recording project he could put in a recording portfolio. So we did a Christmas project, and he loves country music, rock music, all that kind of stuff. So he arranged everything, and I played it the way he arranged it. And I played guitar and piano and sung all the vocal parts. But there is a Christmas album that exists, but the single is on Apple Music.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. Y'all go look that up. Well, look, we're going to get out of here in just a second, Brady. If you'll hang with us, we'll be off the air in just a second. But y'all, thank you so much for watching us. Thank you for being faithful and supporting us. Thank you to our sponsors. We appreciate you so much supporting and helping our young folks out. And y'all remember to like us on Facebook at the SBM Studios page. Subscribe, please, 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 to the YouTube channel and share with your friends. And we'll keep doing it again. In a couple of weeks, we'll be back for episode number 13. But until then,
lucky number 13.
Someone play Jingle Bell Boogie.
That's my favorite number. Any last words?
Hey, if anybody's going to be in Waimama, Florida, you might see some familiar faces down there this week.
Yeah, go check out Waimama, Bill Bailey's Winter Gospel Sing. That is awesome, awesome, awesome.
That's right.
Y'all have a wonderful evening. If nobody's told you yet, we love you and God loves you too. Y'all have a wonderful night.